So I'm gonna have some real live footage of the hurricane. Now, if this stresses you out, I will put a timestamp here. It was very intense. I just want to put that out there. In a few moments, you will hear the things that are going on, but there will be a point where you'll hear some really strange sounds. That's actually our sliders bowing out. That's the walls of the house swaying. It was probably one of the most intense experiences of my life. And that's not trying to be dramatic. If you've ever endured a category 3 hurricane, you know what I'm talking about. It initially was a category 5, and right when it got to us, it hit to a 3. That's still absolutely devastating. So check out some of these live footage. I know you may be thinking, like, what is it like? I've been in Florida for over 20 years, and this was pretty darn intense. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Bucket.
No, that's the exhaust fan. Exhaust fan?
Yeah.
I was thinking it was like a car.
What you see there is the water, the rain is coming in so forcefully that it was coming in the house. And like I said, the sliders were bowing, so water was pouring in. And every time you see it bubble up, that is with another gust of wind. The wind was so intense, the fan was literally on its side from the ceiling swinging.
If you want light, let me know.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm gonna go in here. Lightning hit. Oh, it's out. Okay, so right across the street, lightning hit, and the tree was on fire. I know that sounds super dramatic, but it was true. That's literally. Oh my gosh.
Well, that's the clock right there. It looks like fireworks.
I'm absolutely blown away with the sound. I'm thinking we have to have had, yeah.
It's got two little screws holding it. Oh, okay. Mercy, come here. Still, that. Okay. I wish we had blinds on this window. It's so hot. Alright, we're here.
So when we went outside in the middle of the hurricane, before it got to its worst part, it had already ripped out the side of the screen porch and taken down the fence and pergola. So then by the time it was completely over, we saw that it had ripped out the other side. I am more just thankful that nobody was hurt in my family. Water did come in, but we were able to soak it up. Obviously, this was devastating and extremely shocking, but we can fix that. And I say devastating because, like, it was just so intense. It was just such an intense experience. But once I realized and we really evaluated everything, we realized, stuff is just stuff. And as long as we're healthy and we're fine, we're good. We don't need a pergola. We don't need a fence. I'm glad that nothing was projectile. I am obviously disappointed, and it was a bummer to see that, but it is okay because, like I said, stuff is just stuff. And that has been one of my biggest lessons this year in 2024 after my car got stolen. Like, you know what? It just doesn't matter. Um, in the grand scheme of things, that is. Now, one thing about hurricanes is they are ferocious, and they come in and it is pretty gross before they get here and pretty windy and choppy, and then obviously during it's pretty hectic, but then after it's usually quite beautiful outside. And this hurricane brought in a nice cold front, so I was like, okay, if we're going to have to be outside literally picking up all of the wreckage, then at least it feels nice outside. So we were able to we lost power at about 11:30 Wednesday night. Our power did not get back on until Saturday night. There wasn't really much we could do. We did start working on everything Saturday. That's when I've got this footage here. And we started just picking everything up and just assessing everything and realizing like we have a lot to do.
Like some of the bigger stuff, but the smaller stuff, yeah. I'd rather fill his truck up with the bigger stuff.
So we actually, so the bottom of that was here, as you can see, and the hurricane snapped it in half, as you can see, and it was over there. Chris and I just lifted it up to see if we could salvage it. Let me show you. So when it flipped, it took the slide, ripped it completely off. There's the slide right there. I picked it up, and I mean, like, it ripped it off. It ripped there's the roof over there, and I think we'll be able to salvage it. Like, there's definitely some things. The monkey bars, we're gonna just have to get those taken off. That's completely destroyed down there. And then the big old limb down there got completely ripped off. Come over here. We got. Come on, over here.
It's time to get below report.
Yeah, just get everything in piles for now. I can also get the trailer.
Okay, Emma, come on. We're gonna go further up, baby girl.
Dad, do you want me to throw the tiki torches in there?
No, not yet. I gotta take the cans out.
Can you take the cans out? Those are cans. Take them out.
Smaller people, do that.
Okay, take the cans out, you guys. So we were able to find a chainsaw right when we were out looking. Everyone was out, and someone had told us from another store that Lowe's had got a pallet full. So we rushed over there to get a chainsaw because we knew we were going to need it. Everywhere trees were broken and just snapped right in half. It was just unbelievable to see that type of damage. Literally everywhere. So we have a fire pit in the back, and we just threw everything in. I am so thankful for that. Our neighbor was actually coming by to help us. He even had a bobcat to help push that giant limb. It was probably 18, 24 inches around. I don't know. I'm not the greatest with measurements, but it was huge. Just know, I put my foot on it and I couldn't even push it a centimeter. But for wind to do that, it's just, all of it is just kind of like, wow, that's just pretty amazing. So while they take care of that, Noah's inside playing with them for a moment, and I am going to remove all of the food out of the fridge, and I have to throw everything away. Everything is bad. So that's where we'll start now. taking all the food out of the freezers and the fridges was really disappointing. We have a large family and, food's expensive. And so just literally throwing it away was, that made my heart heavy. Um, I think it would for anybody, but we just have to do what you have to do. You got to stay safe. You can't eat bad food. So I went ahead and did all of that and gonna have a fresh start, I guess you could say. My family eats a ton of food, so I was like, every time I put something in the garbage bag, I was like, oh my goodness, no.
I thought you was. I thought it was something.
I was able to salvage the condiments and anything that was, I knew that would be okay. But like I said, the rest of the stuff had to go. I think that now that I am going to have a fresh start, I was telling Chris that, we spend astronomical amount on food. Our boys and anyone who has kids understands, but then you got growing teenage boys, like they eat a ton of food. It's insane. And they also do have a pretty picky diet, but I was telling him, I'm like, this is a good opportunity now that we are literally starting fresh, that the things that I buy, they're going to have to get accustomed to. They're going to have to learn that they can't live off of chicken nuggets and pizzas. Now, do not get me wrong. They don't eat just chicken nuggets and pizzas, but you all know what I mean. This is a good opportunity to get some really good, healthy food in here because this is what we have. This is all we have. There won't be much else to choose from. I'm now going to take all of the towels that we were using to soak up all of the water on the floor, and I'm going to put them in the washing machine. Although we can't use it just yet because we don't have electricity, I wanted to go ahead and get them in here because I didn't want them to mold and get nasty. The house, the garage, everything was getting a really gross smell because the food was spoiling. So I was just trying to minimize that just a little bit. We're outside now and we were able to get a lot down. So this is the time we have to actually take the pergola apart. We do have a trailer, so we are going to put all of the metal and aluminum things on the trailer so we can scrap it at the junkyard. This took a little bit of time. I'm really thankful that my mom's husband is so helpful, and he came over to give us a hand. Obviously, with all the boys too, they were super helpful, and my neighbor in the back there was so great. So we all just started getting to work, and it really helped this go quickly. So my sister came as well. That's her right there. And she is going to take the kids for a little bit to let them swim at my mom's while we get some work done, which was such a helpful thing. And I think she was just in shock of seeing all of the stuff just torn apart like that. It's only up from here. I really liked that pergola. That was gifted from Mirador, and we had had it for quite some time. Just we had to prepare. When I said yes to getting this pergola, I had no idea that we couldn't just put things on our land here because everything's so sloped. I didn't know the ins and outs. I figured, yeah, we could just put it up and it'll be great. But no, we had to build um, that base there with the turf. And so it was definitely costly and not one that we expected, but we did it. And I was glad we did it because it was a beautiful area. It was Chris's, but out of all the things that we've done in the house, it was his favorite thing. And that made me really sad. And like I had mentioned, I'm not going to go out and buy another pergola. That's just not in our budget right now. But for that to happen was, I just knew how much he loved it. I knew how much we all loved it. So, you know, it's going to be bare for a while, but that's quite all right. So if you saw my Instagram stories, you knew that before the worst or even the really bad part of the hurricane, my kids always go out. That was Liam running away from a wasp. That is he cannot do wasp at all. But Chris is a native. He was born and raised here. So hurricanes don't really ruffle his feathers, if you will. I don't really get too amped up about them either. I've been here so many times and they have always kind of avoided us or degraded very quickly. So this one kind of took my breath away. There's truthfully, like I had said, the sounds in the house were just so eerie and so bizarre, and that was that was weird. I'm just gonna be honest, that was weird. It was very unsettling. But he said he's done this before, so he kind of expects it from time to time. But this is probably the worst one since the 90s, I think he said, since Hurricane Andrew. And then next, I am going to use my SUV with Josiah, surfing on the back, and we're going to take these massive fences and pallets or whatnot and put them into the fire pit because they're specific for this area, and we literally will have to start from scratch when it comes to this. The anchors are the massive L shape, um, bolted in, cemented in little things. Listen, my brain's not working right now. Please forgive me. They're completely bent because with Hurricane Helene, it bent the back of the fence back completely. So that was shocking. So they have to be completely removed and we have to start from scratch. But at this point, he said, I don't really know what I want to do anymore. And I said, you know what? That's okay. We can just stay the way it is. So we're going to go ahead and burn all of this. And then we will, like I will mention in a minute, we will keep the 6x6s because just in case, depending on what we do, we'll have that on hand. I wasn't a big fan of the aluminum here. The gentleman before us did not really secure these properly out here. I don't know if it was a DIY project or what, but I was able to move the entire wall just by pushing on it. So I had always envisioned this being opened up. So now that the walls are gone, it really helps to kind of see my vision in my mind. So it didn't hurt my feelings to see these go too much. And thankfully it didn't damage the house by being ripped off. So that's always a plus. Believe it or not, I actually like the way it looks better this way. So what we're going to do is take all of this off and then have it exposed. And where the main supports are, we will probably just wrap those with a column of sorts. And then over here, right here, this is actually collapsing. I'll show you right here. So this is collapsing. So the plan is to pull all of this up, every bit of this, and then bring it forward and have it meet to over there. It's just not as easy as that because of the heel, you actually have to create a wall of sorts, or then this happens because he didn't create a wall. You can't do this. But it'll look really great once it's done when that happens. It was huge bushes and crepe myrtle trees and all these this foliage and plants that were grown over, a lot of vegetation that was just too much. So all of this has to get taken out. And then he's putting a new AC in the winter. We got to rebuild that pad. Okay, I'm coming. And then the limb is completely up. The limb is completely up. We burned those boards. We saved the 6x6s because those are pretty costly. Our gentleman that helped us do this, he's going to come and help us fix it for free. Those have got to be taken out. That's going to be where we were going to have a she shed, and we put it there so we could have privacy for over here. But I don't really know at this point what we're going to do. The pergola was gifted, so that's not something I'm going to go out and spend money on. Those are the footers; those can go away, and like I said, he's going to fix it. So the pad here itself, it didn't take too much damage. I feel like it's all pretty minor. The pergola, obviously, the fence, her fence, or excuse me, swing, the limbs. Oh, and obviously this. This is a nice breezeway though, kind of get a look of it. So my goal is, you know, I love true Southern homes, antebellum homes. So my goal is for this home to eventually be white. And the reason why I choose white is because it has a green roof. And if you are from the South, you know antebellum homes were generally always white with green roofs. That's just the authentic, quintessential antebellum home. So when I found out that this had a green roof when we saw it, I don't love the yellow. I think it's really cute, but it's got different shades of yellow. So I just want to get rid of that and do a nice warm white. Got the nice green roof. What is she barking at? Okay, then pull all this off, have herringbone brick veneers on here, do a wood slat light baby blue ceiling. If you know about antebellum homes, they usually always have blue ceilings, and then have white columns here, and then build an actual wall here. It could be wood, I don't care, but something sturdy that's not going to blow away in a hurricane would be preferable. But I like this because it really feels so much more open. I did get rid of the 2 aluminum chairs here because we just filled the trailer up with the aluminum. I really didn't think it was necessary to keep them. Didn't love them anyway. I may let these go too because they're splitting. I just don't know. And I think for now we're going to have that patio furniture in here. Then I'm still doing a lot of laundry. I'm going to rinse out the fridges real quick, just wipe them down. I got to get some groceries. Don't have any groceries yet. I had to order pizza, but all in all, there are people still without power, underwater, and could be even worse. So I really can't complain. This stinks. It definitely changes things. We put a lot of time and effort and money into these things, but at the end of the day, and I've learned this when my car got stolen, stuff is just stuff. And as long as we're healthy, it's all just stuff. It's a huge lesson I've learned. So yeah, now it's just time to slowly but surely rebuild. I am doing a lot of laundry today. The dogs had accidents on the carpet. We obviously had to leave them just overnight while we stayed at my mom's. So I got carpets to clean. It smells musty and like dog in there. So we're gonna keep on going, guys. I was planning on coming in here and doing the carpet, but I was running out of steam, so I just decided I'm gonna do everything outside or that the hurricane kind of affected, and then I would work on some of the deep cleaning the following day, or actually this evening and then the following day. But I did want to give this area a good vacuum because, like I had said, everything in the house was smelling really just musty, and I could smell the dogs, and I don't know, it just wasn't feeling very, it was feeling very grimy and sticky, and you can imagine. So I went ahead and gave Eden the cat a bath, both of the dogs a bath, shaved Hazel down real good, and decided to do that wherever she was laying because she gets really fussy when I try to groom her. But I don't want to spend $200 on grooming her, so I figure it out. So sometimes I have to do it separate times of the day whenever she's in a good mood. So I did a portion of it in the sink, then I did a portion of it in her bed. Then I kind of chased her around, not literally, but kind of walked around with her with scissors to kind of clean up her ears a bit. So I had fur everywhere, and I'm like, I know I'm going to have to do a deep clean on here with the um carpet cleaner, so I'll go ahead and vacuum this as well. And then while I'm out here and putting everything back where it goes, I'm going to put the camera in a better place so we can get its solar powered battery, whatever. Again, my brain's just not working today, forgive me. But that was one thing when the hurricane was in full blown mode. We walked outside and my safe mo camera was literally swinging on the side of the house. We kept wondering what this huge bang was, and it was the solar panel of that just banging along the house. So, but it did stay intact and it still works. So I still love it. So on the back porch here, I did decide to get rid of those aluminum chairs because we're going to scrap everything metal and aluminum anyway. So this is my opportunity to kind of reorganize everything, get rid of the things that we don't need or I don't want or broken or rusted, or you get the idea, and kind of rearrange the stuff back here. I did end up getting rid of those 2 chairs. I got rid of the 3 lanterns that I had used, and I did end up putting the rocking chairs in the fire pit. I was planning on spray painting those, but the more I got I pressure washed them, they needed to be sanded. And I'm just going to be honest, I don't have the mental capacity or even the energy to take that on right now. So, and they were splintery because I've left them out in the elements for so long. So I said, you know what? They're about 5 or 6 years old. They've had a good run. Um, they didn't rock properly anyway, and I was just trying to salvage them, but I'm at a point where I'm okay with having bare space. So I just put them in the fire pit and I'm just not going to worry about it. Anyway, this is where our patio furniture is going to be, and we didn't have space for them. I don't want to store anything. Like we went into the garage and there's so much stuff, and the girls are about to buy a house, so they're going to take a lot of it, but y'all, I just can't. And Chris, as I was taking the rockers to the fire pit, he said, less is more. And I'm like, you know what? You're absolutely right. So this back patio probably doesn't look YouTube, Pinterest, or even Facebook worthy, but you know what? It's life and it's what I've got, and I'm just going to be thankful for that. So that's all I have the energy for today. So he's going to put up the swing for me, and then I was going to try to do all the indoor stuff today, but I just cannot. I am exhausted. He's exhausted. So we got to take all that stuff to the dump and scrap it. And then tomorrow I'm going to do a deep clean throughout the house and just get back to normal. That's what we're going to do. I got to get groceries. Yeah, I just got to get back to normal. So thankful. It was what it was, and it wasn't any worse. So sorry, I don't have a lot of energy. I think I'm zapped, honestly. I had heard, like, I spoke to someone, Michelle, that's right, and she said, I'm so surprised you're so calm. And I said, I'm always calm when things happen. It's not until like a couple days, a week, a month later that I'm like, then it all hits me, and I feel like it's starting to all hit me. They call it hurricane fatigue, where it's just like you're in this amped up state of doing what you have to do. You just get in there and do it. And then when things start to come back down, it's like, it's weird. So, but it's good. It's good. I'm glad everything's getting back to normal. No school for the kids tomorrow. Our county's completely closed down. I was able to get gas today, which was a huge deal. It's just very sparse right now. So, okay. I'm gonna go take a shower. And then truthfully, I am going to start cleaning. I'm going to clean tonight. So I'm hoping my next video will be a deep clean, like an after hurricane deep clean, because like I had said, the carpets need to be clean, and I was wanting to do that today, but I just don't have it in me. I need to shower, I need to decompress, and then I'll get up in a little bit when Emma goes to bed and start cleaning a little bit more, and then do that tomorrow as well. So. But I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you, and thank you for watching today. I hope whoever else was in this hurricane or the previous one, I hope that you guys are doing well, and my thoughts and my prayers are with you all. I just thank you all so much for taking the time and watching today's video. It means the world to me, and I think I'm running off of fumes at this point, so thank you all so much for watching, and I'm probably speaking in circles. I'm exhausted. I love y'all so much. Thank you for being you. Thank you for taking your precious time sincerely to watch this video. And I love y'all, and I'll see you in the next one. And don't forget, I just want you to know that you make this world a better place. Love you guys. Bye.